So, hi everyone, welcome to MDBot for Her, where we celebrate inspiring women making a difference in society. Today, we're thrilled to have Meris Gebhardt, a leader in holistic health, workplace wellness, and mindfulness. We'll explore her journey, insights on mindfulness, stress management, and empowering practices for individuals and teams. Meris, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Sundus. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Meris, let's start with questions. Let's start about your journey, your life, and what you do exactly. So, could you please share a brief introduction about yourself and what do you do for our podcast listeners? Like they'll get to know about you from.
Yes, thank you so much. So I was born into a very Catholic family, the eldest of five children. My parents divorced when I was in third grade, which makes me 8 years old. And from there, I had a lot of confusion and we'll call it little t trauma, pain, and questions I was analyzing. And that's when I first, as far back as I can remember, can imagine having anxiety in my body and feeling shaky and unsettled, unstabilized, not grounded. So throughout my life, I was really searching for tools, and I always felt a call toward healing. And yet I was very high functioning. I was top of my class. I was taking care of my younger siblings. I was working jobs as young people do, and yet I felt still busy and unsettled and not well, truly not well inside. My mind was well, my body was well, but I didn't feel grounded and whole. I felt fractioned. And so I kept searching and searching, and in the past, we'll call it 9 years, I discovered meditation and Vedanta. And in the past 25 years ago, I discovered yoga, which took me on a journey towards a spiritual seeking life where I could get some of my questions answered and begin to really rewire my nervous system and feel that sense of inner peace and tranquility, as well as being very well and much connected to a higher divine purpose and source.
That's amazing journey. I we really like look
Thank
for
you.
these kind of women who have come this far, who have done such wonders in life. So this podcast is basically for you, for your kind of women, for the women who really have made a mark. So let's move to the next question. Meris, can you please share your journey into holistic health and wellness? And you have already discussed this. If you want to explore, if you want to discuss more about it.
Yes, so my journey into holistic health and wellness began with yoga. Also, my father was a physician, Western trained physician, and my stepmother a dietitian, and my mother a Montessori teacher. So Maria Montessori being originally from Italy, and my mother studied at her school in London. And so the synthesis of all of my health my carers, my parents, my family, as well my own inner curiosity led me to discover yoga, Ayurveda, well-being practices, and even to this day I continue to educate myself on what are the optimal ways to live, what are the best ways to reduce stress, what are the ways that we are designed to live a fulfilling and meaningful life using modern day tools, but at the same time, age old techniques and traditions and modalities that have stood the test of time.
Great.
For sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so your journey, that was so amazing. It's inspiring to hear how your personal journey shaped your professional path. What daily habits or mindfulness practices do you personally follow to stay balanced and energized?
Yes, great question. I do move around a lot. So I've been in the last 2 months in Italy, and since the beginning of June, I think I counted that I've stayed in 15 different places. So But one of those places I stayed was a place I revisited in Umbria, Italy, where I re-met with my healing coach, my energy healing coach. And she suggested that I really emphasize the yoga teaching. So since I have been teaching the yoga for so many years, she reminded me the importance of teaching yoga because the bones and the flesh are foundation. They are stability. They are grounding. And so even though I'm moving all about the country and world, practicing the yoga offers the stability that we need in our daily lives, especially when we're going a million miles an hour and the planet itself is moving and all the energy is moving in and out of us. It's helpful to have a grounding practice. So I definitely do movement practices every day with vocal interruption, with meditation, with some mantra, mudra, maybe setting the environment with some incense or Palo Santo or sage and a candle and some gentle music that allows me to move out of my head space and more into my heart space. Because what we've learned in science is that the gut is really the first brain. And when the first brain is well, then it produces all the right endorphins and hormones to actually make the brain, our thinking, executive functioning brain, optimized. So every day I'm practicing things that will reduce inflammation, detox my system, because it's inherent in our world where the soil, the food, the air, the water, the pollutants are perpetually infiltrating our system. So it's important to always have a mindset of detoxifying, reducing inflammation, cleansing, and purifying. So whether it's foods or teas or tinctures or rituals or salt baths or soaking in a mineral pool, all of these things, sauna, steam. What I would like to preempt all of this with is that I have been very privileged in my life. I have had the great gift of education, loving parents, a home that was mostly stable, and yet my interior world felt very destabilized. So I just want to offer a bit of solidarity to those out there who have lived a privileged life and yet they feel suffering within. And those who have lived a less privileged life, it's possible to also find joy and peace and inner tranquility and health and healing.
Great. Now, Meris, many of our listeners are like mothers and caregivers who often juggle multiple responsibilities. So how can meditation and mindfulness practices help them stay focused, manage stress, and avoid burnout?
Such a great question. I especially like your last word, burnout, because a lot of the people I speak with and my messaging and my guidance is tailored towards people who are feeling this sense of burnout. What is burnout? It could be defined as feeling flatlined, lack of enthusiasm, the same old routine where you feel bored and almost in tears, even though nothing really is going wrong. You just have a lack of sense of light and fire within you, a lack of drive. You feel heaviness, drained, exhausted at the end of the day, even though it may not have been a very physically demanding day. The emotions are truly what determine our sense of energy and our physical ability to exert energy. So what I would advise for people is to have a daily practice of deep, deep, deep rest. Now, what I'm offering lately, after a lot of synthesis of my practices, my teachings, and what I'm truly, and my studies, what I'm truly called toward is deep, deep, deep rest. And this is the space between meditation and sleep, where we offer what's called yoga nidra. So you're in a supine shavasana position and you are moving more into the heart space. Something that was revealed to me in Italy was this notion of depression. I was sitting in a beautiful Catholic cathedral, and it doesn't really matter, but it was a place of worship and spiritual energy and love and coming together and support and community and connectedness. And I had so many thoughts in my head. Should I go and pull weeds over here? Should I offer service somewhere here? Should I do some cleaning over here? How can I best give of my physical self to make the world around me a better place? So, as you know, mentioned, demands of a parent someone running a household, professional demands. We have overload in our brain. There are so many ways we can give out of our energy. And what I realized is that all of those thoughts in my head were crushing down upon my heart, causing depression. I wasn't listening to what my heart longed for, what my heart desired, what I would love to have flowing out of my heart, which is love, always love, pure love, unadulterated love. And so I set my mind on the back burner, and I sat still to really, truly listen, tune in, and sense, what does my heart wish for? And there's no judgment about what our heart calls for. Now we get pressure from society, people putting demands on us, people unable to fulfill their own inner sense of love and worth and value and energy, right? It's our own responsibility to find that within ourselves and cultivate that within ourselves and offer the consolation that we long for, whether it's from a God or your own inner source through the quiet whisper. But nevertheless, I set my mind to the background, all the little voices to the background, and tuned into the longing of my heart. And from this place, a well of energy came. I was shining more light. I was engaging more easily and peacefully with others. I brought out joy in others. I felt more light myself and agile. Ideas came, inspiration came, and also physical energy came to cook and to clean and to move about in my world, to do some shopping, to smile at others and to cook for others and serve and clean. And as I mentioned, take care of the home and invite others into the home. So releasing this weight of the brain so that our heart may be lifted and expansive. This energy pours out. The endless, bottomless font of love is accessible to us.
Yeah, I can truly relate with your whatever you are saying. I can truly relate, because when my child was born, so I struggled postpartum stress and anxiety, and meditation for just 10 to 15 minutes a day helped me find calm, stay present, and regain confidence as a mother. So it truly became my lifeline during that period. So I really want to ask about the postpartum depression also. It affects many women, yet it's not even openly discussed. So what strategies mental, emotional, or physical can help new mothers, especially new mothers, to recover and regain balance? Because when you first time became a mom, so it becomes very difficult for a young woman to obviously for the woman to bear that. They get burnouts, and it is very difficult for them to balance all. What will you say about that?
Great question. I appreciate that. And I think it would apply to lots of places where we've never been here before. We have fears about being perfect and creating something valuable and being our best, right? And overcoming our fears and our worries and anxieties. So what I would say there, the very first step is awareness. And we achieve insight when we sit in stillness in meditation, and we can become aware. I have a stomach ache. My mind is chitter chattering it to me. I'm recalling a conversation someone said and I had with someone, and I am aware that my stomach is burning with anxiety and fear. Right now I'm working on my money wound, my money issues from childhood and my belief system around money. And that lives right here in my solar plexus, and it's very cold and gray and twitchy, and blades are moving about and slicing all about in this vacuous space. And it feels jittery and scary. So whatever your fear and worry is, find it in your body, acknowledge it because you have awareness of it, and then offer grace and love and compassion and non-judgment, and begin to swaddle that discomfort, that pain, that uncertainty, the fear, the agitation, the anxiety. Swaddle that energy in this warm, loving light, a blanket of comfort that you and only you can provide to yourself. Now, I also recommend listening to spiritual leaders. I love my Swami Sarvapriyananda of the Vedanta Society of New York. He's an expert speaker, orator, pillar of the Vedanta system, and this always brings great comfort to me no matter where I am and what he says. I feel realigned and relieved of the pressures, the small and large weight of my mind, the worries of the world. Absolutely. And so we can connect more with pureness, simplicity, and our inner truth that is and only is pure love. So all the work we can do to cut the noise and distraction, busyness, and to reclaim our inner wholeness of warmth and love. This is really starting with awareness that it exists at all.
Yeah, that's such a valuable advice. Like, I'm sure many mothers will feel supported hearing this, and it is such an important topic also. And the podcast of today is going to be very beneficial for all the people out there, because everyone is dealing with something or the other. Like, not only mothers, women, nothing. Everyone is like, I feel like that I am at the other side of this world, but then also I feel like that what you are saying, I can relate to that. Like, whatever you are saying about heart, about sinking, about everything, I can relate, because we have come across a lot of stages where we feel different like feelings and all. So let's talk about the other question, like about your wellness program. So what key factors do you consider when designing wellness program for corporations and or teams?
Yes, great question. So I would like to also start by pointing out that we are human and we're living in this fleshy meat suit, right? And it has constant needs and wants and desires and fluctuations. One moment I'm in a good mood, the next moment I'm angry and bitter and curious and crying and sad. And so we fluctuate. And what we can do, and I love that you are valuing and a champion of meditation, because no matter your form of meditation, whether it's Shavasana or the supine yoga nidra or a mindfulness practice or a body scan or just sitting in pure reflection in a bathtub, watching the candle flame flicker, journaling, listening to some soothing music, taking a walk in nature, feeling the sunlight on your face, or chuckling at a baby whose funny giggle. So whatever you can do to bring presence into your life and pause into those moments is super valuable, because the meat suit, this fluctuating, desirous, and repulsing physical body, is in constant movement and turmoil and change and fluctuation. So acknowledging this straight away is the first step, because then we can have awareness and we can step back and we can uncouple ourselves from, oh no, this happened to me, to, oh, how am I experiencing this? What is my mindset? How am I framing this understanding in this situation? And so when we can pause, uncouple the experience from me, I am not sad, I'm experiencing sadness. I am not depressed, I am experiencing the noticings of my mind weighing on my heart. So how can I uncouple the experience from the identification of me? And then we have space and a buffer, and this is the beautiful, magical area in which we can have agency. We can choose to take a deep breath in this moment. We can choose to go, ah. We can choose to turn on a nice song. We can choose to lift the corners of our mouth into a smile. We can choose to not get a charge from an egoistic plug-in and activation. So with all this awareness, we have separation and a buffer between I am this versus it is out there. Now, what I am is a question that we ask ourselves throughout our lives. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I am light. I am awareness. I am pure consciousness. I am divine. I am whatever the non-material I am is. This is who you are. And so reclaiming awareness and unity with this identity, which is less about borders and boundaries and separation and more about unity and wholeness and collective. So the tools that I help with really are multiplied. Music, mantra, mudra, movement, awareness, journaling, singing, chanting, music, all these tools that are varied but yet similar within them. What song do I want to hear? What posture do I want to take? What scent do I want to hear right now? Activating, bringing in a spatial environment that you're creating and curating to send the message to your system. Drop in, get still, calm and soothe my nervous system, and now allow for expansion and input from the wise, infinite wisdom of divinity to enter me.
Yeah. What an insightful, like, it was such an amazing, like now we'll talk about this sustainable wellness practices. So how do sustainability and green beauty practices fit in your wellness philosophy, like both personally and professionally?
Yes, thank you. Great question. So I think that our Mother Earth is so valuable, and I've been in places where people cultivate the earth, and this earth is then fed into their systems and nourishes them, versus a manufacturing, capitalistic, what can I grab from the earth to make it for me, to make it mine, and to own it, and to have separation in mine versus yours. This is where we have disconnection. This is where we have the proper terminology is substance use disorders, so addictions. This is where we're grasping and empty and hungry for fulfillment and true nourishment, where we're depleted and still hungry and starving for spiritual fulfillment. The earth to love us and nourish us. So sustainable is when we can give back to the earth and love the earth, and the earth loves us, and we feed the earth and the earth feeds us. And so when we have this consciousness, this awareness that our environment, the earth, nature, her animals, her creatures around us, to all be in a symbiotic relationship, less about what's mine, what's yours, what's theirs and ours, more about a comprehensive, collective ours and yours and together. And so green beauty is also this, where we're beautiful because of what we feel in our hearts. We're beautiful because of the nourishment we put into our bodies. We're beautiful because we've given our bodies rest. We're beautiful because we've given ourselves permission to not do it all, and to not subscribe to the societal pressures to be thin, to be perfect, to have more, the car, the clothes, the face, the surgeries, all the things that bombard us in commercials and ads, and for someone else to make money with our weaknesses and our self-doubt.
Yeah, thank you. That was also very insightful. I really want to talk about the competition which you said, like we are like competing with the world to look better, to perform well, to earn more money, to do this, to do that. When you, like, being a woman, I just really want to say that I don't see this in men. I have seen this in women especially. I've seen they have a lot of like jealousy, a lot of I don't think that jealousy is the correct word, but they compete with each other, and they sometimes someone stoop to this level that they are not even thinking about what they are causing to the other person, like what impact will be there on the other person's mind and what will happen to that person. So in that case, what will you advise, what will you say, that whether one should focus on all these things and they should like make their own decisions and say like that these things are like irrelevant, they will not impact my mind, they will not impact me. So what will you say about that?
Yeah, so back to awareness, because I find it fascinating that the words that come out of our mouths, the words that come out of other people's mouths, are a direct reflection of the conversation we're having in our own heads. So if I judge you and I try to be perfect and I try to look amazing and get all the attention, and I spend money to look good and make my family seem perfect and glossy on the socials, then that's a dialogue in my own head. I'm not enough. I have to be better. Other people are perfect. I won't be loved. I will be outcast by society. I will be left alone. I will die. I will starve. I will, this dialogue is going on in the minds of people who feel this constant quest to be better, more perfect, have, you name it. And so I would also ask for the awareness to notice what others are doing, and then that let be a lens into their own inner conversation, and to also tune into your own body's energy when you're in the presence of others. If you feel the need to always be defending yourself or one-upping the other person or offering your Me Too story, or not the hashtag Me Too story, but someone says something, you're like, oh, well, I can top that story. When we have the tendency to want to do that, it's a sign that those other people feel depleted within themselves. And so it triggers our competition button to flick on, and then we feel like we need to use our ego and outdo, outshine, compete with someone else. So tune into your energy around others and notice. And that is your call to action. To sit in your own stillness, recognize that they are feeling depleted, and it does not mean that you must also feel depleted and prove what they are needing themselves, right? So when they are putting out this air to be more, do more, have more, prove something, that is your call to action, saying, I would do it a different way. I believe in serving nourishing food to my family, staying in, not worrying about labels, not worrying about societal judgments and pressures. I want to look in the eyes of my child and give them my undivided attention and love. I'm not taking a picture of them to show the world. I am seeing them, not showing them off. I'm seeing them. And this will enrich your children from within to also have agency, to feel safe to sit in stillness and not perpetually be producing and faking life.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Meris. That was such a great answer. Obviously, the listeners, they will get to know a lot about everything. Like, obviously, everyone is dealing nowadays. So, in the community from where I come, I've seen this personally. That's why I've asked this question. So this was a very personal question. So let's talk about the other. Like, we'll talk about empowering others. Like, your work focuses on empowering individuals and teams. So can you share a story where your wellness strategies led to significant transformation in a person or organization?
Yes. So when we talk about leadership and companies, we know that companies are people. And we know that leadership is an individual with a group responsibility. So when an individual is well, they naturally are inclined to listen to others. They naturally are inclined to set their ego aside and to ask for feedback, for growth. So when companies have a growth mindset and the leader is feeling well within because they practice awareness and they are practicing subsiding of the ego and they are practicing how can I think of the world and the collective and what's good for humanity, then the company, i.e. the people, feel empowered, heard, and that they are aligned with their own purpose to serve and make the world a better place.
Great. It was such a, like, obviously everyone is dealing with a lot of things right now. So I love how you connect ancient wisdom with modern practices. Like, you have discussed it, like you have discussed the holistic approach and all. So it makes mindfulness also timeless. So, like, we're done with the questions also, and it was such an amazing session. So thank you so much, Meris, for sharing your insights, experience, and wisdom with us today.
Thank you, Sindus.
And your journey.
Thank you so much.
Your journey, yes, in holistic health, wellness, and mindfulness is truly inspiring. And whatever you have said, you have said with heart, because obviously, but everyone can relate with this podcast. I really wanted that hopefully the listeners will get to learn a lot from this, and seriously, I myself have learned a lot from this. So, to our listeners, we hope you take away practical tips and motivation to incorporate mindfulness, stress management, and well-being practices into your daily life. And thank you so much, Meris, for your time, for your efforts, and for your
Thank you,
words. It was
Sundus.
such an amazing one. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you've inspired me with your humility and your quest to learn and to share and to serve others. So in a selfless service of seva. So I appreciate your openness to learn and to grow and to be curious. And this teaches me too as I look and reflect back your face onto my heart. So thank you for the experience.
Thank you so much. Meris, if you would like to say something about my initiative, like MDBot for her initiative, if you would like to say something about it, so it will be wonderful.
Yes, I think the fact that you are shining a light on spiritual offerings and encouraging people to really examine within, to feel consoled by the greater world. We are here to support each other. And I consider myself a safe woman. I don't want to be a threat to other women. I'm here to support and to serve and to love and to encourage. And I think that you also in your voice are definitely doing this. It's a beautiful representation of unity. Really, this is a word that keeps coming up. So we are all here together. And then also I heard a stat today that 90% of the wealth in our world is being reassigned in the next 25 years. So it will be distributed in a different way, more away from capitalism, more into the hands of women and those who are on spiritual quest to bring us into our truth of why we are here in this life, to serve and to have purpose of expanding the love and the purity and life and vitality. So congratulations to you on perpetuating and confirming for me that in fact movements like this are already happening and the channel is getting a lot of momentum. So thank you, and I applaud you.
Thank you